have a question. Last year, just I had to, because of medical reason, I had to go for IUD. And after that, nowadays, 2 weeks, like I have period and 2 weeks I don't have. Now Ramadan is coming, so now I'm really worried. Like during Ramadan, how should I keep fasting and with my prayer, so just it would
So,
be
Sister
great if you
Aisha,
can.
you may stay online. I'd like to answer your question. Meanwhile, I might need to ask you a couple of questions in order to deliver the answer in a very clear manner. We begin by asking the Almighty Allah to give you shifa and to cure all Muslims who are suffering of any ailment. Secondly, whenever a bleeding happens during the typical time of the period, then from beginning to end, you should perceive it as a period. Sometimes it goes beyond the regular time. So average 7 days, now it is 9 days, 10 days. It may happen once or twice, but as long as the bleeding is continuous, it should be perceived as a period. Because it may shift, it may become the regular period, 10 days, it happens, and even beyond that. As you know that Imam Abu Hanifa says more than 2 weeks, then a woman would perform ghusl and observe her prayers because the maximum period is 2 weeks. But if the period and if the blood is continuous, and even if it is just mere spotting, but it is continuous, there was no ceasing of the bleeding didn't stop, then there was a clear discharge. No, rather it is continuous. So this is perceived as a period. Menses, yani no fasting, no prayers, no intimate relationship while in that period, and obviously no tawaf. Having said so, the Almighty Allah stated in the Quran, "Inna ma'al usri yusra." And the golden fiqhi rule, al-mashaqqatu tajdibu al-taysir. So, with regards to the prayers, you're exempt. With regards to fasting, you're exempt, but you will have to make it up some other days. If it is confirmed that this is a period, even if it is longer than it used to be before the operation or before you got sick. And if it is a umrah or hajj, and you have to leave, then you perform ghusl, and you do your tawaf, and you do your sa'i, and there is no blame upon you. Do you have any further questions, respected
Yes,
sister?
brother. Yeah, I just have also one question. Last year we went for umrah, and I was having this problem only. And I was we went for 2 weeks, and the day we arrived, it just happened. So I just, in that circumstances, I did a mistake, which I realized that after 7 days, I just tried to do ishtihad, and I did umrah. Having thinking like I was in period. So now I have done that mistake. So what would be for me to do it? Because afterwards I realized that I shouldn't have done it that time.
Okay, I would like to ask you, you performed Umrah even though you still had some time before departure, or it was like a day before departure, then you just performed your Umrah? Tell me. I mean, there is a huge difference between, as I mentioned earlier in my answer to the question, when I volunteer to suggest that a woman who is performing Umrah and she's still in her period, if she has to leave tomorrow, then perform ghusl and go ahead and do your Umrah even though you are in the period. Was that your case?
Yes, because we went for 2 weeks, and the day we arrived, it started, and after a week, I waited for a week, and then we had to leave. So, but I had my medicine and all, and I that time it was new. I could not really understand how come it is just not stopping. So just after 7 days, I tried to do that ishtihar that maybe this is something and I should go for it, and I did it.
Well, as you said, since you had to leave, even if you were certain without a shadow of a doubt that this is a period, but I have to leave, perform ghusl and do tawaf, and do your sa'i, and your umrah is valid. This is for every woman who's going for hajj or going for umrah, and then your ticket is due, I have to leave, and my period may last for another couple days. What do? Just perform ghusl, do your umrah, and leave. May Allah bless your sister Aisha.